What's going on, everybody? It's your boy ColeMize coming at you with a review of Eminem's new album, Music to Be Murdered By. And if you're new to my channel, my name is ColeMize. I'm a rap coach. I train people how to rap from the ground up, and that's what this YouTube channel is dedicated to. So if you're someone wanting to increase your rap skills, this is the place. So make sure you hit that subscribe button. And make sure you stick around to the end because I got a special gift for you. Okay, honestly, I was surprised by this album. Well, I think we all were. Nobody was expecting to wake up, I don't think, last Friday and just you have a brand new music video from Eminem and a whole new album. Like out the gate, just out of nowhere. We was all surprised, but even after I seen the title of his new album, along with listening to his single Darkness, I was thinking that this album was gonna be just murking rappers all the way through. Like a killing spree. Especially since Eminem just recently reignited his feud with Nick Cannon with his shots that he took at Nick on Fat Joe's song Lord Above. But on Music to Be Murdered By, he didn't take that approach. And in hindsight, I think that was the right move. Sonically, I felt that this album was very diverse and covered the full gamut of human emotions with its diverse offerings of subject matter. Regardless if you're a fan of Eminem, Marshall Mathers, or Slim Shady, rest assured that your appetite will be quenched well before the end of this album. About half of the tracks on Music to Be Murdered By is showcasing Eminem's lyrical prowess in his efforts to silence the haters and leave his fans mesmerized. And the other half of the album addresses various issues that have plagued Eminem from his past, such as child abuse, abandonment, drug addiction, dysfunctional relationships, and mental illness. And he has a few songs on here that's really just about having a good time and partying and things of that nature. And you would think with all the topics that I just mentioned that this album would be predominantly mad and upset and bitter, but it's not. For the most part, Eminem has a blast on this album. It sounds like he's having a lot of fun. This album is sure enough a wild ride, and it served as a strong reminder of why I loved listening to Eminem so much when I was coming up. And in many ways, I feel like that same Eminem has now reemerged. And with that being said, let's just peruse through the album, and I'll give you some quick thoughts on each song, and then we'll wrap up with some final thoughts. All right, the album begins with a track called Premonition, and a really strong introduction. Eminem comes in really, really hot out the gate, just addressing the elephants in the room, if you will. And repeating some of the critiques that he's gotten. He has his response to it, and it's a really good, strong introduction. Super lyrical. It has a really eerie vibe to it. You know, you hear it has this female singing in the beginning, and you hear a woman screaming. You hear Eminem, digging into the ground with a shovel, and it seems like he beats the female over the head with a shovel and then starts burying the female. And so it's a strong start for sure. All right, track number 2, Unaccommodating. Honestly, I was a little bit torn on this one. So Young M.A. is featured on this one. Actually, Young M.A. is the one that begins the song, and this is coming right after Premonition. Premonition, Eminem goes in super hard. And then this is the first actual song on the album, and it's featuring Young M.A. And honestly, I wasn't in love with her feature on this track. I just wasn't. I just felt like her and Eminem just worlds apart from each other. I didn't feel like, and then apart from that though, when I was going back and listening to it again, and I think I listened, second, third time, I'm trying not to be too judgmental or harsh. But trying to just be realistic as far as what feels like it's raising its hand to me saying, hey, something may be off. And I just feel like Young M.A.'s verse just was not really focused. Like it was just kind of all over the place. It really didn't feel like it was cohesive with what the track was about. Because Eminem's coming in hot. He's going against, once again, attacking the critics and stuff like that. And Young M.A.'s was more like kind of on the braggadocious tip. I'm doing this, I'm getting that, you know what I'm saying? And Eminem's coming in hot. And then also, there's certain parts of Young M.A.'s verse where it just sounded like she was rapping off beat. And I understand swing. Hers sounded like she lost it. I don't know. Maybe I'm just out of touch a little bit, but I really didn't like that feature. And it's unfortunate because she's the only female MC on this whole album. and this is like this is the first song on the album, and I feel like, you know, maybe if you had someone like Rhapsody on here, maybe like Snow the Product or whatever, maybe it would have been a better fit. But I love the vibe that Young M.A brought. Like, as soon as she comes in, I'm hype. I'm like, oh, I like, you know, I'm vibing with this. I'm vibing. Like, she had me, but then she lost me about a quarter to halfway into her verse. I'm like, it just felt like stagnant. Like, we're not really going anywhere. You know what I'm saying? I liked her sound. I liked her vibe and all that. The beat is riding, man. Like, this is like a trap style type beat. Eminem murks it. Eminem murks it. But I just felt like Young M.A held that track back a little bit, and it kind of got the album almost off to a false start, because with Premonition, man, like Eminem comes in hot, and then we go into Young M.A's verse, and it feels like it just brought it down a little bit, the momentum down a little bit. But I get that too, because, like, you know, it's all about peaks and valleys. You know, we want to create crescendos and we want to have highs and lows, and I get that. And so that's why when I was going back, I was like, okay, well, maybe we needed to dip down a little bit and then build back up. But still, I just felt like her verse was a little bit lackluster, honestly. Oh, track number 3, You Gonna Learn, with Royce da 5'9", White Gold. Oh, man, that dude, he sounds so good on that freaking hook, man. This is one of my favorite tracks on the album, man. I love the vibe of this song. Royce da 5'9's coming from more like a street point of view, which, you know, they're both talking about how they both came up, and they're both coming from different sides of the tracks, if you will. Royce da 5'9 coming more from the street perspective, Eminem coming more also from poverty, but he's speaking more about the whole you know, rap game side of things coming up. And Royce da 5'9, he comes in and he hits on some political things, and he's aiming at politicians and stuff like that. And Eminem's aiming at the younger generation. And the verse ends, Eminem's verse ends with him making fun of rappers not knowing how to hit on the kick and the snare. Like, I loved how he ended. And to me, I just get this vibe on this track. Like, this is two wise men who are dope, elite lyricists, and they're just kind of sharing a little bit of knowledge, and they're kind of speaking, in a sense, to the younger generation in their own ways. And I thought it was a really, really solid track. And then we have an interlude called Alfred, which is talking about Alfred Hitchcock. And I really enjoyed this vibe. It ties into the album cover, the way it looks. It has this kind of old feel, like Noré feel, or Nor. I think it's Nor is how you say that correctly. But that old-timey vibe, and creepy and everything. Like, I just really, really loved the vibe of that. Track number 5 is Those Kind of Nights, featuring Ed Sheeran, and this is Eminem's version of a club song. This sounds great. I'm laughing just because of the way Eminem ends. Eminem, man, like, Eminem's a funny cat, man. He'll have me literally laughing out loud a lot of times in his songs. Like on this one, towards the end of the song, he's talking about, it's a club song, it's for the club, right? So I'm just imagining this playing in the club. Eminem says at the end that I've never met a woman in a club worth knowing. But it's a club song, that's what the song is about. That's just Eminem's humor, man. Like, it's hilarious, but you know, really, really good, you know, wacky Eminem. It's an Eminem club song. That's what this is. You know, really, really, really dope track. I really enjoyed this one. It was a lot of fun, just silly, tons of wordplay on all of these, but just a real good time. That's what this track is. Those Kind of Nights. All right, track number 6, In Too Deep. This has got to be another one of my favorite songs on the album. First of all, one thing that just stands out to me about this song is the hook. The hook sounds so unique, and just very well layered. Eminem's voice is prominent on the hook. There's somebody else singing on this hook, and I couldn't find whoever it is. It's not all Eminem. It's not super noticeable, but it's blended in with Eminem, but it's another singer that's layered on this hook. It sounds, man, beautiful, man. I love the way this hook sounds. But this is a love type track, and this, it's an Eminem love type song, right? It's an Eminem love song. So it's about two people who are in relationships, and they're both cheating on the person they're with, and the person they're cheating on each other with are falling in love with each other. So Eminem and this other girl are both sleeping around together on their significant others. And so it's basically a love song about people who are already in relationships and are cheating on their spouses and falling in love with someone else. So, you know, wouldn't recommend, I don't think that's a great way to get a relationship started, but it's an Eminem love song, man. But it's this song's very well put together. Very good song. Really enjoyed it. Okay, track number 7 is Godzilla featuring Juice WRLD. Rest in peace, man. Oh my gosh, this song is fire. Man, this may be my favorite song on the album. It's tough, man. There's a lot of, oh gosh. Oh man, it's got this trap style beat. Eminem murks is so bad. So bad. This is Rap God Part 2. And his chemistry with Juice WRLD, everything's just perfect about this song, man. It's got the beat, the trap beat, Eminem bringing that, Juice WRLD on the hook. This is such a good song, man. Easily one of my favorite songs on this album. So good. Oh my goodness. And track number 8 is Darkness. This is showing you another side of Eminem. This is more of the conscious storytelling side of Eminem. Like as rappers, well, I'll just speak on Eminem specifically. There's so many different ways to write a song. There's so many types of rap songs that you can write. You know, you can have some songs that are more geared to show off your lyrical prowess, how skilled you are as an MC, how good you are with wordplay and rhyme schemes and cadences and all that stuff. But then you can also have other songs that's more about showing off your songwriting skills, you know, using things, you know, as far as how to string that listener along and keep them guessing, like take them on a ride and paint a vivid picture in their mind, you know. So there's different purposes for different songs. Darkness is that songwriting song, you know, like this reminds me of, in a way, kind of like Stan. When I think of the song Stan, it's just such a well-written song. It's not so much about, you know, how skilled you are as an MC. Like, yeah, we know that's apparent. We know you're dope, you know, but it's about the storytelling. It's like painting a picture, and it's almost like playing a movie in your head. That's what Darkness is. And it's drawing a parallel between Stephen Paddock, the Las Vegas shooter, and then of course Eminem. And it's genius. You know, it's just one of those things. It's one of those songs you listen to and it just leaves you thinking, like, what's the meaning behind this? You know, and it's really building awareness around mental illness. And it really ends. This is Eminem's more political song, and it's really, I feel like the way it ends, it's really asking us, what are we gonna do? You know, like mental illness is this thing that you can't see, and it's something that so many people deal with, and we all deal with our own struggles, you know, and some are more apparent than others. But this is Eminem kind of open up about even some of his own insecurities and just things that he struggles with mentally. And but he does it in that Eminem kind of way, man. Like he does the parallel with the Stephen Paddock, which also ties into the whole theme of the album. But brilliant song. I really enjoyed this one. More of the emotional, kind of sad songs, and you know, fortunately for this album, there's not a lot of sad moments. It's a pretty wild ride for the most part, but this is now, you know, bringing it down, you know, bringing the vibe of the album down before we build it back up. But again, Darkness, another one of, I would say, probably my favorite songs of this album. It's hard to pick favorites, but there's so many good songs of this album. But Darkness, very well done, just genius songwriting. Man, track number 9, Leaving Heaven. Oh, this is a deep one. This is, you know, coming out of Darkness, you know, this is a step up, but we're still in that kind of emotional state right here. This is another really serious side of Eminem, and this is dark. This is dark as well, and it's very poetic. Eminem, the song was called Leaving Heaven. Heaven being symbolic, I believe, as far as being in a heavenly place, you know, spiritually, mentally being in a good place, but leaving that good place to come down and wreak vengeance on people. You know what I'm saying? Like to get back at people and things of that nature. And, you know, in the first two verses, Eminem is, on the second verse, he's going at, he's talking about being bullied and stuff like that as a kid, and wanting to, you know, be famous and stuff like that, to get back at all the people who like hurt him and bullied him and stuff like that, to be more successful than them and things of that nature. And the first verse is more so addressing his critics. The people like here is Eminem trying to be more conscious and be more positive, and yet people are criticizing him for being too woke. And so, you know, he's like, okay, I'm trying to do good, but you're provoking me to be bad. So in a way, it's like this struggle once again between good and evil. I want to be good, but people don't want me to be good. You want me to be evil. You want this. You want to see me at my worst. You like that. And then in the third verse, he goes into talking about his father, and his father had recently passed, and it's a super emotional and dark verse. And then even the way that verse ends, what he's talking about on the outro, he's just constantly he's still going at his father, and like some of the stuff he says about his father is tough. It's hard. Like, you could feel that came from his heart, man. Like, I could feel what he was saying, man. Like that, and then it was very poetic as well, because he, at the same time, he's like, even though I hate you so much, I wouldn't be the man I am today if it had it been different. You know what I'm saying? So it's deep, man. It's deep. And he's talking about how, you know, he used his skill to try to pull himself out of a really bad situation. You know, it's a deep song, man. Leaving Heaven, man. Really, really good song. Okay, track number 10 is Ya Ya featuring Royce da 5'9", Black Thought, Q-Tip, and Denon. And this is where things really pick up. You know, we go from this emotional kind of sad state, and this is like it just picks up from here, man. Like, this is a fun song. It's a cypher type of track. And I really enjoy them sampling Busta Rhymes lyrics in the hook. And this is really just a statement type of song. This is like a letting people know, like, look, we're coming with it. We're not to be trifled with, you know, and also making the statement that our era, you know, was so original. Like, they're talking about, this is where we come from, this is what we represent. And it's really it's kind of a billboard or a message to anybody coming up now. Like, look, this is where we come from. They pay homage to so many of the great MCs, and it's really just a statement of saying, look, this is the era of hip hop we come from. This is what we represent, and these are the people that we admire and we respect. And hey, we are not to be trifled with. Very good track. And as soon as they rise things up, energy-wise, emotion-wise, it comes right back down on the next track, track 11, which is called STEPDAD Intro, which is the introduction to the following song. And it's just sad. You hear this kid getting beat up, and of course the kid is, you know, Eminem when he was a child, and it's just really messed up. You know, you're hearing this kid getting abused and stuff. So we go from down, from darkness, and from Leaving Heaven. Then we go up on Ya Ya. Then it brings us right back down to STEPDAD. And so this is that roller coaster ride they're taking us on emotionally. All right, track number 12 is STEPDAD, and this is more like a rock type of ballad. Like, Eminem has been known to be doing this for a minute now. He did it on the Eminem show with the Sing for the Moment, and then Remind Me also on Revival, and then Berserk on Marshall Mathers 2. So this is kind of his rock ballad, and he has a certain type of sound that he does. Not one of my favorites type of sounds, but it blends, like, harmonically it's blending, but it's almost like it's kind of like blending a Pee Wee Herman type of sound with some raspiness, and he's kind of screaming, you know. And honestly, I was kind of conflicted about this song, to be honest with you, because he's talking about some really dark stuff about being, you know, abused by his father and stuff like that, by his stepdad. But the feeling of the track is not super serious. So we go from Ya Ya, which is a, you know, upbeat kind of fun type track. The skit comes in for STEPDAD, and it's sad. You hear this kid getting beat, and it's like, oh, that's messed up. And then STEPDAD comes in, and it's a rock ballad. So you're like, okay, I can move to this. I'm vibing with this. It's not a sad sounding song. but it's kind of a hybrid. That's the best way I could describe the song. It's a hybrid. It's like sad, but it's also kind of comical. You know, it's weird, like, because Eminem kills his stepdad in this song, and it's like certain things he says, the way he says it to me is funny, but it's not funny. Like, what he's saying is really messed up. It's really sad. And so this song kind of left me kind of conflicted with, like, I wasn't quite sure how to take it, because I know, honestly, you know, he didn't literally kill his stepfather. So this is a story he's telling, and who knows, you know, how much of it is actually factual. But overall, I feel like it's still a really good song. It's a storytelling type of song, and in the end, he offs his stepfather, excuse me. And but yeah, I was conflicted. Like, I'm like, I don't think I should be laughing at some of this stuff, but the feeling of the song and the way he said certain things, I believe that was intentional. It's like it's a messed up song. You're talking about something serious, but we're also picking up the vibe and the emotions here once again. So that's Stepdad. Okay, track number 13 is Marsh, and basically the concept for this one is how he's a Martian, also playing off his name being Marshall, but being worlds apart, you know, talent-wise, skill-wise, from these current rappers. And so with this track, I really enjoyed what Eminem did lyrically. I didn't enjoy so much the production on this one. And I get the whole point of like trying to make it sound like super basic and simple, you know. And one theme in this track is like ABCs, and that's kind of a play to, you know, super duper simple like rhyme styles and stuff like that, and just super basics, like childlike level skill, like a little kid, like a beginner, an infant. And so, you know, creatively, I can understand possibly where they were trying to go with that production wise. I didn't enjoy the production as much on this one. Like, but I really like what Eminem did lyrically. And he actually went ahead, he took some shots at Cardi B and Trippie Redd on this one. He killed it lyrically. Just, I wasn't too crazy about the hook or, I don't know, the beat on this one, but that's just me though. It's just my opinion. All right, track number 14 is called Never Love Again. This is another one of my favorite tracks off of this album. And this once again shows off his songwriting skills, because he's taking you on a ride. You think it's a love song about a girl, but if you keep listening, you realize it's not. It's a love song about his relationship with drugs, pills in particular. And it's a really, I love the hook on this. I love the beat. It has more of your I don't know, more like a boom bap beat, not so much like a trap beat or anything like that. It's very musical. It's just very unique instrumental, man. Really enjoy the production on this one. Love the hook on this one. And at the end, you know, he's like had enough of this relationship with these pills, and you can hear him like either probably flushing them down a toilet, I believe, just throwing the pills away. But really, really good song, man. Very well put together. All right, track number 15 is called Little Engine, and this one is showing more of Eminem's comedic side. He's having a lot of fun with wordplay as usual, and I really enjoyed the instrumental on this one. From an audio production standpoint, this gives you a different flavor, and it really does put me in the mindset of like a train on the tracks or something moving rapidly. It gives me a feeling of just like rushing to get somewhere. Like I really, and then the way he raps gives you that feeling too. So overall, Little Engine, just a really wacky, fun track of Eminem, just once again showing off lyrically, and once again making his case on why he's one of the greatest, no doubt. Okay, track number 16 is called Lock It Up, featuring Anderson .Paak. Really, really good song. This is another one of my favorite songs on the album. Love the hook, love the parts that Anderson did, man. He killed his parts on this song. This is another one of them club bangers, I feel. And once again, the track is just filled with Eminem having fun and showing off his wordplay and just reaffirming that he has not lost touch, not one iota, not one bit. And then also within this song, Joe Budden gets mentioned. Eminem takes a little shot and calls Joe Budden Trader Joe. But really, really good song, solid. Track number 17 is called Farewell, and this is another love song about a dysfunctional relationship that Eminem is talking about. He's found himself in, and he's trying to get out of it. He knows this relationship's not healthy, it's not good for him, but he keeps getting drawn back in. This is another one of my favorite songs on the album. love the production, love the hook. Eminem killed the hook on this one with his singing. I really enjoyed it. Overall, just a really, really good song and a great addition to the album. Track number 18 is called No Regrets, and it's featuring Don Toliver on the hook, who killed it. He did a great job on his part. This has more of that trap style to it, and it has this really like dark feel. It kind of makes me think of like a smoky club at night, or a dark club type of vibe. And Eminem is starting to address his fan base, so the criticism that he's received from his own fan base. He talks about, feeling betrayed by his fan base, or like they pushed him into a corner. And I know on the other flip side, fans have also felt away from Eminem, because Eminem literally said on one song, "I'm drawing a line. Any supporter of Trump is no fan of mine." So, it goes both ways, but I digress. He also, I also enjoyed how he drew a parallel between Dre taking such a chance on Eminem, because so many people was telling Dr. Dre not to fool with Eminem because he's a white rapper and white rappers don't sell and it's just a waste of time and stuff like that. And Dre seen the talent in Eminem and the potential, and so he took a chance and put his reputation on the line. And once again, no regrets. Another thing too I enjoyed, I thought it was pretty poetic, towards the end of the song, how Eminem is realizing also to people who try to latch onto him and try to profit off of Eminem by antagonizing him and trolling him, like saying things about his daughter and whatever, to try to come up off his name basically. And he's equating it to, like dropping a nuke bomb on an anthill, which is just, it's describing just useless force, like just force that's so powerful against something that's so feeble and something so weak. It's just nonsensical. It just makes no sense to use that type of force against something that's so weak. And to me, that's also kind of, displaying some of his maturity at his older age, to where he's like, I'm not, like, pick your battles, pick your fights. And he was talking about this in his MGK disses, like, I had to destroy your career just for you to have one. You know what I'm saying? Like, he's like, this is the most famous you'll ever get. But anyways, he's realizing how pointless it is to allow these people to like get at him so much. And really, really good song. Very, very well put together, man. Love this track. All right, track number 19. It's called I Will, featuring King Crooked, Royce da 5'9", and Joel Ortiz. And man, for everybody, man, like just everybody's coming with it on these. This is like a cypher type track, and man, it's like everybody's coming with it lyrically. And the vibe of like the way Eminem sounds on this hook reminds me like the earlier Eminem, like early 2000s, like D12 Eminem show Eminem. And oh man, Eminem, like up until this point, we really haven't heard Eminem just go at somebody. He's mentioned like Trippie Redd, and he went at Trippie Redd a little bit. He went at Cardi B. He's mentioned Joe Budden. He mentions a lot of names and stuff like that, but he hadn't really went in on somebody, which is what I thought initially this whole album was going to be, like just him going in on people, just murking everybody like a massacre, But he does murk one person at the end, and that is Lord Jamar. Oh my God. Oh. He got Lord Jamar. Oh, he got him. Oh, yes, he did. And I seen a video Vlad TV posted up. Actually, I think it was today. Had Lord Jamar responding. He trying to act like that he ain't bothered by this. I know that dude's hurting on the inside. I can see it in his eyes. I can hear it in his voice. That dude, he got. He got. He probably was crying on his way to the car after doing that interview. I mean, oh man, Eminem went in. He goes in so hard at the end of this track, like just like 2-3 minutes straight, something like that. And once again, kind of puts that final nail in the coffin on the album. Just reaffirming once again, I'm here. I ain't going nowhere. I'm back. I'm coming with it. I ain't playing. And Just a solid track, man. Just tons of lyricism, man. Another good kind of cypher track to end off the album. And then track 20 is just the Alfred outro, and the guy playing like the Alfred Hitchcock character. Just a really nice little touch to kind of tie everything together and shut the album down. But yeah, that's pretty much it. Let's go ahead and just finish up with a few final thoughts. So I think it's safe to say that Eminem is 100% officially back. Is this album perfect? No, but I honestly feel like this is one of them classic Eminem albums. I think it has that potential. I think you could hold this album up with any of his classic albums and it will stand right next to him with no problem. This is a great album, and I really enjoyed listening to it. And Eminem has notably struggled to figure out the formula of how to be authentically himself in the current climate. Revival was a misfire, Kamikaze was a readjustment, and Music to Be Murdered By is the kill shot. My name is ColeMize with ColeMizeStudios.com, and it is my main goal to help up-and-coming rappers be a better rapper now. So if you're new to my channel, I would love to hook you up with a gift I wish I had when I was beginning rapping many moons ago. It's the ebook called The #1 Fundamental to Rapping. And it's gonna give you a really cool overview of how rapping works, the mechanics of it. And it's gonna share with you what I believe to be the #1 fundamental to rapping. It's an easy read, it's something you can read within 15-20 minutes. And I think it's gonna really add a lot of value and really get you thinking about how this rap thing actually works in a different light, in a different perspective. Again, my name is ColeMize, and always remember, when it comes to rapping, there's no rules, there's only techniques. Peace. Hey man, you see that subscribe button right there? Kill it, kill it, kill it, kill it, kill it, kill it, kill it. Oh, and don't forget the bell icon. Kill it, kill it, kill it, kill it, kill it, kill it, kill it. Hey, I know you see that like button, right? Kill it, kill it, kill it, kill it, kill it, kill it, kill it. And look at yourself in the mirror and tell yourself, today I'm gonna kill it, kill it.